If pressing a button earns $10 million, but this button would kill a random person in the world, would you press it? And why? No, I wouldn't. Why? Disregarding the moral implications, I'm committed to building my own life through hard work. If I get $10 million right off the bat, I wouldn't have to work another day in my life. I'd still work, but the things I buy and the life I build wouldn't feel earned, and I'd lose my sense of purpose. It's like building a giant castle in Minecraft in one day but on creative mode. Yeah, that's cool, but wouldn't it have felt more satisfying and purposeful to have built that same castle over weeks, months in survival mode, gathering all your resources by hand? As a thought experiment, this is hinky. Any form this deal is presented in would be a money's paw. If offered by a rich person, there would be no reason to trust them. Doubly so, if it was a magical box or gin or something. The odds of it being an ethical test are more than it being a legitimate offer. And Terry's no reason to actually trust the benevolence of an entity that would make such a deal. Basically, in any folktale, the punishment for taking the money would outweigh the benefits of the rewards for resisting temptation. Is there a limit on how many times a button can be pressed? Don't care about the money, just trying to figure out an auto-clicker contraption that would end humanity. Follow up: what is the max number of clicks per second the button can do? Also, is the button good enough to hold up till about 10 billion clicks? Finally, assuming the button is electronic and not mechanical, could an external device be used to simulate the button press? If yes, what is the max frequency allowed? Yes, easily the least ethically dubious route to gaining $10 million. Only one person dying for the generation of wealth that can either last a few people a lifetime or significantly reduce the hardships of several more? That's practically unheard of. Edit after some time to think. Actually, fuck that. Wouldn't press the button. I don't need $10 million, and my not having it is not a problem worth the taking of another human life. Sorry, but yeah. I'm reasonably certain I could justify it by spending $9 million to save lives and keep the last mil for myself. Maybe that says something rough about me and or the human race, but to be honest, I'd probably blame whatever weird god creature set up this button game in the first place. You killed that guy, not me. Now pardon me while I build some cancer hospitals to assuage my guilt. Let's be original. Where is the money coming from? Is it being taken from an orphan fund? Illegal drug money? Does the money come from someone pulling the strings on who gets killed? How about if every time you press it the odds increase that a person you know in passing would die, followed by someone closer to your inner circle, etc. Let's make this a thinking riddle. Dozens of people die every moment. Why not get paid for something already happening? I could change the world with 200 deaths, 1,000, and I could pay for universal healthcare for the entire planet. Yeah, I'm doing it. Edit: just because the person got super angry, I'm not gonna fix my math. The 1,000 can still die, since I'm assuming a bunch would be from their inbred family. Just imagine a different scenario. Everyone in the world gets a button and are told everyone has it too. I wonder how many would press a button and how many would be left alive after that. Could even separate it by country. Press the button and someone in your nation dies. It would be super interesting to see which nations have the most people alive after that. I like to think I wouldn't, because I value human lives more than money. Boo, you would also don't honestly know if I'd be strong enough to hold true to that value if the opportunity was put in front of me. That kind of money would end all the struggles I have, and very likely end most of the struggles people close to me have too. It would be really hard to pass that up. Honestly, yeah, more people have died for less. It wouldn't bring anyone back, but sending a portion off to charity would feel like decent balance to me. It really depends on how they go. Hell, if it was painless, like dying in my sleep, I wouldn't mind being one the other end, provided the other person doesn't plan to abuse it. $10 mil. Nah. I bet I can make more money going around as the guy who didn't press the button and I get a clean conscience. Anything north of $100 mil though, and it gets tricky. The reason I jump all the way to $100 is because I'm gonna split it with whomever family I just fucked up. So it's really for $50 million. I'd press the button 500,000 times at a rate that is negligible compared to the global death rate, and give $5 million to each family who lost someone. Why 500k? Well, it's just a placeholder. Given I have a 1 in 8 billion chance of losing, there must be an optimal number of presses that maximizes my expected payout. This is a tough one. I feel like with $10 million I'd be able to fix more negatives in people's lives than the negatives of one person dying. Pay for medicine, healthcare, procedures, food, etc. But the weight of that on my mind would be unbearable, even if I did have a nicer life because of it. If it's legit random, and only I was given the choice to do it, yes. If everyone was given this opportunity, but we needed a majority vote to put it into effect, I would vote no. Also, it may depend if the stipulations asserted that I would know everything about the person I killed after the deed was done. Absolutely yes. I'd press it 1,000 times. Then give the UN the 7 billion estimated requirement to end world hunger. Then hire a great PR firm and make sure I'm remembered forever. 2.9 bill for other self-sustaining philanthropic projects, and 100 mil to live comfortably on for the rest of my life. The chances that it would be me or someone dear to me are so low I would push it 5 times without thinking about it, and then maybe 5 more times. I don't care about strangers. However, only if the people that die are truly random. None of this "it's the last person that pushed the button" bullshit. So the question is, would you commit murder for $10 million? I assume there are no legal consequences, since 10 mil isn't that useful to me if I'm in prison for probably life. No, I would not press it. I don't want to, kill people. Because that is what is happening, with extra steps. This all depends on just how many people are terrible people. I want to know the chances of a terrible person being on the receiving end of this button's wrath. I'd still hesitate. Lol, I don't want to kill anyone. Well, there are a few exceptions, but I don't actually know any of them personally. So, I ask you, if you inherited $10 million from an unknown relative, and then the next day someone came and asked you, press this button and a random person will be saved from death, and you will lose the $10 million. Would you? Was your answer consistent with your answer to Op's question? No. No amount of money will get me to kill a person. Now, I know people are going to bring up the myriad of risky things we do that will inevitably kill someone on a population scale, but I do consider that different from knowingly and definitely killing an individual. Here's the thing. If you get presented with $10 million after pressing the button, then you know the money is real. But if someone random supposedly dies, you don't really know for sure if they actually did. At least, that's how you could avoid a guilty conscience. I would push it 100 times. Make $1 billion, then spend that $1 billion bringing fresh water, medicine and food to famine poor regions of the world. $1 billion can save thousands or even millions of lives. $10 million can save much more than just one life. Without any hesitation I would. The chances of it bringing someone I know is so infinitely small that it's negligible. Most people can easily turn a blind eye to someone else dying if they don't know the person and can't see them suffering. I wouldn't do it because people's lives are more precious than money. There are more honorable ways to make money than bearing the burden of knowing someone randomly died because of me. It's going to bite you at some point. As much as I would love to say no, I would. It's fucked up that it could be an amazing, innocent person who you are deleting from Earth. But it could be a serial killer, rapist, or child predator too. Then I'd be double happy. The Box 2009. Seriously, watch it. A lot of people on these comments should. Sure, you may kill a random person, but what happens when another random person presses the button and you're the random person selected to die? A few lives on my conscience in exchange for enough money to live in comfort and help out loved ones for the rest of my life? Would probably hit it about 30 or so times and pray it doesn't hit anybody that I know. I'd press that bitch 5 times. 50 mil and all I gotta do is randomly murder some schmucks I don't even know? And I don't even have to pull the trigger? Say less. This situation kicks 2 items off my bucket list. With my luck, either the person I care the most about would be the one to die, or she wouldn't want to have anything to do with me ever again if she found out the cost of me pressing the button. So, wouldn't press. I would use a large portion of the 10 million to help people who are desperate, essentially saving more lives than I killed by taking the 10 mil. Then I'd have a few million left over to live life on easy mode. Nah, you could easily squeeze 15 meters of revenue from that one person, labor and payments not their income over their lifetime. It's a net negative from a productivity perspective and therefore no for me, dog. I'll press it a few times and donate enough to a good charity to know I've saved many more lives directly as a result of my pressing the button to clear my conscience. Though it's obviously still morally wrong, I'd press it a few times, make myself rich and try to solve world hunger at the cost of a few hundred lives. Probably try and improve humanity while we're at it. Foil a greater good in my wallet. No, that random person could be my wife or kids, and is certainly someone's kid. Of course you could get lucky and kill a future Hitler type person, but I believe there are more good people than bad. I really don't think I could press it, however I do think it'd be worth considering how much good you could do with that amount of money. In that regard it's a trolley problem taken to an extreme. Taking the life of a random person for personal financial benefit would generally be considered morally wrong and unethical by most ethical frameworks and legal systems. But, to be honest, yes, Santa Claus, without a doubt. Why? I spent too much of my life putting others and their needs and wants before my own needs. It has made me jaded and I no longer give a shit about others. I'll take the cash. Taking the life of a random person for personal financial benefit would generally be considered morally wrong and unethical by most ethical frameworks and legal systems. But, to be honest, no, Santa Claus. What if the person I kill is already in the middle of dying in hospice or hurling to the ground in an airplane that is in the middle of crashing? Do I have to press it again or does it count? I'll press a knife into a stranger's chest for that much money. I manufacture parts for weapons that kill thousands of people and get about $60K a year. This seems like a better deal. In a universe where this is possible, $10 million wouldn't be worth much anyway. Probably couldn't buy a loaf of bread. Eventually inflation would go brr like in Germany in 1930s. I'd feel awful about it for the rest of my life but would push it without hesitation. 10 mil is enough to create generation wealth that would ensure my kids are taken care of. Nah, wouldn't that make me a murderer in a way? Just because I don't actually have to do the deed myself doesn't make any difference to me. They are still dead because of me. My son died in August and there was absolutely nothing I could do to save him. No way I'm putting somebody else through that pain. I don't care how much money you offer me.